The funeral director's pen is hovering over the publish button when the office door slams so hard, the little framed condolence card on the wall rattles. My uncle storms in first, red-faced, tie crooked, smelling like menthol and anger, and he points at the proof copy on the desk like it's a crime scene. "Where are our names?" he barks. Behind him, my cousin Jenna is already recording on her phone, front camera angled, lips pressed together, like she's trying to catch me doing something evil. The director looks at me, eyes wide, silently asking if he should call security, and all I can think is, Mum is in the chapel down the hall, in a closed casket, and they're making this about ink on paper. My brother shoves past my uncle and snatches the obituary proof before I can grab it. He reads it out loud, louder and louder, like volume will force the words to change. "Beloved mother of Sienna Grace Hart." He says my full name like it's an accusation. He flips the page, panicking. "That's it? That's the whole family." He turns to the director. "This is a mistake. She's upset. She's grieving." Then he turns back to me and drops his voice into that old tone, half warning, half threat. "Fix it. Now. People are already seeing it." I don't even have time to answer, because the director's computer pings 3 times in a row. A notification pops up from the online tribute page. "New comment pending approval. New comment pending approval. New comment pending approval." The director clears his throat and tries to keep his voice gentle. We have about 40 minutes before the service begins. If there's a dispute, we can pause publication until—" "No," my uncle snaps, jabbing a finger at the screen. "It's already out. She's already done it." He points at my hands like I'm hiding the rest of the family in my sleeves. "You erased us. On purpose." Jenna's phone camera tilts closer, catching my face, catching the director's screen, catching the tremor in my chin that I'm trying to swallow. In the hallway outside, I can hear the low hum of guests arriving, soft footsteps, whispered hellos, the sound of someone blowing their nose. Every noise feels wrong, like it's happening in the wrong world. My watch vibrates again and again, because my phone is stacked with missed calls. I refuse to answer in this room. Dad, Auntie Marlene, Cousin Mark, unknown number. The family group chat I muted months ago, Hart Clan, is exploding so fast the message previews are basically a strobe light. I glimpse one. "How dare she?" Another. "She's trying to steal the funeral." Another. "I'm posting it." And then I see the thing that makes my stomach drop clean through the floor. A screenshot of the obituary proof. My obituary proof. Already posted to our local community Facebook group. The one with the nosy aunties and the people who argue about parking fines like it's politics. Caption in bold. "Family drama at funeral. Daughter removes entire family from mom's obituary." Comments are pouring in. People I barely know are picking sides like it's a sport. Someone's tagged my brother. Someone's tagged my dad. Someone's replied, "I'd do the same if they didn't pay." My brother's face changes when he sees it too. He goes from furious to scared, because now it's public. Now he can't control the story. "Sienna," he says, suddenly softer, trying to sound reasonable for Jenna's camera. "This is not the time. We'll talk after. Just put the names in. Please." My uncle leans closer, eyes hard. "Put them in," he says, like it's a command he's used to obeying. "Or we'll tell everyone what you've been like. We'll tell them how you've been acting. We'll tell them you're bitter." I look at the director. He's frozen, hands on the mouse, trapped between grief and chaos. The priest's assistant knocks once, then opens the door a crack. "Sienna," she whispers. "They're asking if you're coming to the front row." Her eyes flick to my uncle, to my brother, to Jenna filming, and she goes pale. Oh, my mouth is dry. My whole body feels too hot, like I'm running a fever made of rage. I can smell lilies and cheap aftershave and printer ink. I can hear my own heartbeat like it's tapping the desk. And right then, like the universe wants to fully humiliate me, my phone buzzes with a photo message from my aunt. It's a screenshot from 6 days ago. Our group chat. The one where I asked for help paying for Mum's funeral. The one where my uncle replied, in writing, "Not my problem. You want it fancy, you pay." Underneath it, my aunt has typed, "Delete that obituary now, or I'll post everything you said to us." I stare at her threat, and my hands stop shaking. Not because I feel calm, because something inside me locks. I turn my phone around and show my lawyer's email to the director, the one she sent this morning. "You are under no obligation to include any individual in an obituary. You control the text, as next of kin." Then I look at my brother and say, very clearly, "Stop filming me, Jenna. Put the phone down." Jenna smirks and keeps recording, so I do the bold thing I've been holding back for days. I tap my screen, open the community Facebook post, and in front of all of them, I reply with one sentence and one screenshot. They refuse to contribute. Here's the message. Then I attach my uncle's "not my problem" text and hit post. The room goes dead silent like I just slapped everyone at once. To understand why this feels unreal, you need to know what my family was saying about my mum before today. My mum wasn't perfect, but she was the only person in our family who didn't treat love like a transaction. She was the one who showed up, the one who remembered birthdays without Facebook, the one who would quietly transfer me $50 when I was broke and then swear me to secrecy so Dad wouldn't find out. She worked as a receptionist for most of her life, always underpaid, always indispensable, always smiling like it didn't matter. She called everyone love, even when they didn't deserve it, especially when they didn't deserve it. My dad left when I was 13. Not a dramatic door-slam divorce. Worse, he just drifted out. One day, he was working late. Then he was staying with a mate. Then he was living with a woman whose name Mum never said out loud. He still showed up to family events sometimes, but only if there was an audience. He loved being seen as the long-suffering father who tried. Mum took the humiliation and still made sure my brother and I had dinner, school uniforms, a roof. She never made us carry the ugliness of it, even when it was crushing her. My brother, Liam, grew up into the kind of man who thinks being loud is the same as being right. He adored Dad in that hungry way boys do when they feel abandoned. He wanted Dad's approval like oxygen, and Dad used it like a leash. Liam moved out early, got into real estate, started posting grind set quotes, started acting like Mum's house was something he had outgrown. He'd show up maybe twice a year, bring a cheap bottle of wine, take selfies with Mum, and then vanish again. As for the rest of the family, uncles, aunties, cousins, they were the kind of people who'd call Mum Angel, while simultaneously expecting her to do all the work. She hosted every Christmas. She made the salads, cleaned the kitchen, bought the gifts from everyone, and nobody noticed because she did it quietly. If she ever hinted she was tired, someone would laugh and say, "Oh, Mare, you love it." Like exhaustion is a hobby. Mum got sick fast. That's the part people don't understand when they judge you for being cold after someone dies. There's the grief, and then there's the shock, and then there's the paperwork. There's the hospital calls, and the endless forms and the weird little indignities, like arguing with a receptionist about a parking validation, while your mother is literally in a bed down the hall. Mum went from a bit tired to stage 4 in a matter of months. The word palliative landed like a brick. I became her default person because I was the one who actually answered when she called. The family's response was embarrassing. At first, everyone did the performative thing. Let us know if you need anything. We're here for you. We'll come visit. Then when it became inconvenient, when visiting meant sitting in a hospice room and watching Mum lose weight and dignity and her hair, people suddenly got busy. Liam would swing by for 10 minutes, take a photo holding Mum's hand, whisper, "Love you, Mum," and then tell me he had a showing across town. Dad sent one text. "Sorry to hear. Keep me posted." That was it. Like Mum was a work project. 2 weeks before Mum died, I sent a message in the family chat. I was blunt, because I was exhausted. "Mum's time is limited. Please visit if you want to say goodbye." My uncle replied with a thumbs-up emoji. My aunt wrote, "So sad." Nobody came that week except me and one of Mum's old co-workers, a woman named Carol, who brought homemade soup and cried quietly in the corner, like she actually knew what love looked like. When Mum died, it was early morning. The nurse called me first, because Mum had put my name down as primary contact. I drove there in my pajamas under a jacket, hands shaking so badly I could barely hold the steering wheel. By the time I got to the hospice, Mum was already gone, and I stood by her bed staring at her face, waiting for her chest to rise like it always had. It didn't. The room felt too bright. I remember making a noise, something between a laugh and a sob, because my brain couldn't decide what reality was. Liam didn't answer my first call. Dad didn't answer at all. When Liam finally called back, his first words weren't, "Are you okay?" They were, "So, what happens now?" Like I'd just told him the electricity was out. The now is what destroyed me. Funeral costs, death certificates, choosing between cremation and burial, while still hearing Mum's voice in my head. I sat at my kitchen table with a funeral home brochure and felt like I was reading menus in a language I didn't speak. Everything cost money. Even grief had invoices. I asked the family for help because I had to. I wasn't trying to be dramatic. I wasn't trying to start a war. I simply didn't have $10,000 sitting around. I wrote a message. The funeral is going to be expensive. If everyone can contribute even a little, it would help. Mum deserves a proper send-off. I hit send and stared at the screen with that sick hope you get when you're about to be disappointed. The responses came in like punches. "Dad, I'm between things right now." Liam, "I'll see what I can do." My uncle, "Not my problem. You want it fancy? You pay." My Aunt Marlene, "We all have bills, Sienna." One cousin actually reacted with a laughing emoji, under a message about my mother's funeral. I remember sitting there, face hot, and thinking, so this is what we are. Not a family. A group of people who share DNA and avoid responsibility. Carol, Mum's co-worker, offered me $200 out of her own pocket, and I cried in my car afterward, because the kindness made me feel ashamed. I didn't take it. Instead, I did what I always do. I handled it. I took money from my savings. I put the rest on a credit card. Daniel, my partner, picked up extra shifts and never complained even once. even when I came home snappy and hollow-eyed. I sold a few things I'd been saving for someday. The house felt like it was filled with quiet panic for weeks. Then came the obituary. The funeral director asked me gently, "Who would you like to include?" And I froze, because I didn't realize it was even a choice. In my head, an obituary was a neutral fact, a list, a history record. But when I sat down to write it, I realized how loaded those names were. Putting someone's name next to Mum's felt like giving them a badge they didn't earn, like printing forgiveness. At first, I did the good daughter thing anyway. I typed Dad's name. I typed Liam. I typed the aunties and uncles. I was trying to be the bigger person. I was trying to keep the peace. And then I remembered Mum's last lucid day, when she grabbed my hand and whispered, "Don't let them use me, love." She didn't say names, but she didn't have to. She looked tired in a way that made me feel ancient. "They only come when they want something," she said. "Promise me you'll be okay." I promised. The day after Mum died, Liam came to the house and walked around like he was inspecting an investment property. "We should sell," he said casually, looking at Mum's couch like it offended him. I stared at him. "Mum's not even... We haven't even..." "Sienna, be realistic," he cut in. "We can't keep sentimental stuff forever." Then he asked, "Did Mum have a life insurance policy?" Like he was asking if she had milk in the fridge. When I told him I didn't know, he said, "Find out," and left. That was the moment the obituary question shifted in my head from peacekeeping to boundary. They weren't grieving Mum. They were circling her. So I opened the obituary draft again, and I deleted names. Not out of spite, out of accuracy. Because an obituary is supposed to honor the life someone actually lived, and Mum's life was not supported by those people. Mum carried them. Mum fed them. Mum forgave them. They did not carry her. I kept it simple. Mum's full name. Her parents' names. Her siblings. Only the ones who actually showed up. Like my Aunt Janine, who sat with Mum at hospice, rubbing her back while she retched. I included Carol, because Mum talked about her all the time, and because Carol cried at Mum's bedside when my blood relatives didn't even answer their phones. I included me. I included Daniel as partner, who loved her like family, because he did. I did not include Dad. I did not include Liam. I did not include the aunties and uncles who told me not my problem. I knew it would explode. I still did it. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Grief changes what you tolerate. When you've just watched your mother take her last breath, you don't have the energy to keep lying for other people. Which brings us back to the funeral director's office, present tense, with my uncle shouting and Jenna filming and my brother trying to make me the villain, because it's easier than admitting he failed her. After I post the screenshot of my uncle's "not my problem" message, my phone vibrates so hard it nearly jumps off the desk. The Facebook post refreshes. People are reacting to my comment. The tone changes instantly. Not magically. There are still nasty replies. But now the family can't pretend. Now there's proof. My uncle lunges for my phone, actually reaches for it, and the funeral director steps in front of him, voice suddenly firm. "Sir," he says, "do not touch her." Jenna's eyes go wide because she didn't expect resistance. Liam's face goes blotchy. He stares at the screenshot like he's seeing it for the first time, even though he lived it. "That was private," he snaps. "You can't..." "You made it public when you posted the obituary screenshot," I cut in, and my voice is shaking, but it's steady enough to land. "You wanted people to think I was cruel. I'm just being accurate." "Fix it," Liam says again, softer now, panic creeping in. Just put the names in. People are watching. This is humiliating. And there it is. Not Mum deserves it. Not we loved her. Just people are watching. I look at him, and I feel something in my chest crack open. This old, ugly grief that isn't about Mum's death. It's about years of being the one who handles everything while everyone else critiques. You were humiliated? I whisper, because my voice can't get louder without breaking. You weren't there. You weren't in hospice when she begged for you. You weren't the one who paid the deposit with shaking hands, because I didn't know if my card would decline. My uncle starts swearing. Jenna says, "This is disgusting," like she's above it while filming every second. The priest's assistant opens the door again and says, "We need to start." And her voice is tight with stress. Guests are seated. People are waiting. Mum is waiting. In the worst way. The director looks at me like he's asking what I want. I swallow hard. "Publish it," I say. Liam's eyes go sharp. "Sienna." "No," I say louder. "Enough. You don't get to boycott the bill and then demand a spot on the poster." I take the obituary proof from his hand. Gently, because I refuse to play tug-of-war in a funeral home. And I slide it back to the director. "Publish." The director clicks the button. My uncle goes still like he's been slapped. Jenna lowers her phone for the first time. Just a fraction. Liam's mouth opens and closes. For a second, nobody knows what to do, because they're used to me folding. Then my dad calls again, because of course he does, and my phone lights up with his name like a flare. I stare at it until it stops ringing. Then I do the second bold thing. I block him. Right there, in front of them. We walk into the chapel after that, like nothing is wrong, because the world doesn't stop for family tantrums. I take my seat in the front row alone. Liam hesitates behind me, then slides into a row 2 seats back, like he's trying to look respectful without committing. My uncle sits farther back, muttering. Jenna sits near the aisle, so she can bolt if she needs to. As the service begins, I can feel eyes on me. People whisper. People glance at their phones. But then the music starts. Soft, not dramatic, and the priest speaks Mum's name with gentleness, and for a moment the noise in my head clears. I focus on the casket. I focus on the flowers I chose with trembling hands. I focus on the fact that Mum is gone, and none of this chaos can bring her back. After the service, in the reception hall, the confrontation happens the way I knew it would. Relatives corner me near the tea urn like it's a tribunal. Aunt Marlene's mascara is smeared, and she points her finger at my chest. "You made us look like monsters," she hisses. "You did that." I stare at her finger like it's a strange insect. "You did that when you told me her funeral wasn't your problem," I say quietly. Liam tries a different angle. He comes up with that practiced charm he uses on clients, eyes glossy like he's performing grief. "Sienna," he says softly, "can we not do this today? For Mum?" "For Mum," I repeat, and it tastes like dust. "Where were you for Mum when she was alive?" His jaw tightens. "I was busy." "Exactly," I say. One of Mum's old neighbors comes over and squeezes my hand. "I saw what you posted," she whispers, and her eyes are kind. "Good on you. Your mother would have wanted honesty." I feel my throat burn, and I nod, because if I open my mouth, I'll collapse. The consequences roll in fast over the next few days. Half the family stops speaking to me like I'm contagious. The other half suddenly starts softening, texting me little apologies that are suspiciously vague. Liam leaves me a voicemail saying, We should talk about the estate. Like he didn't just call me cruel at Mum's funeral. Dad tries to call from a private number. I block that too. Jenna posts a dramatic story on Instagram about toxic siblings and gets sympathy hearts from people who don't know my mother's middle name. And then the obituary goes to print in the local paper, and it's permanent. My mother's name. The people who actually carried her. The truth. It's there, black and white, and no amount of family outrage can rewrite it. A week after the funeral, I go back to the hospice to drop off thank you cards, because the nurses deserve the world. In the parking lot, my phone rings from an unknown number. I answer without thinking, and it's my dad. His voice is thick like he's been practicing. "Sienna," he says, like we're close. "Why would you do that? People are talking." I grip the steering wheel until my knuckles ache. "Mum died," I say. "That's what matters." "Don't talk to me like that," he snaps. And there he is. Real, not grieving. Just offended. "I'm still your father." "You weren't even on her emergency contact list," I say, and my voice shakes. Not with fear, but with disgust. "Don't pretend now." He starts to argue. He starts to blame. He starts to tell me I'm making a scene and airing family business and disrespecting elders. And I realize he hasn't said Mum's name once. Not once. So I end it with one clean final beat. I don't yell. I don't cry. I don't beg him to understand. "I paid for everything," I say quietly. "I sat with her when she was dying. I held her hand when she left. You don't get to call me to manage your image." He inhales like he's about to explode, and I cut him off with the last sentence he will ever hear from me. "You were removed from her obituary because you removed yourself from her life." Then I hang up. I sit there for a moment, with my forehead against the steering wheel, breathing through the tremor in my ribs, and I don't feel victorious. I feel emptied out, but I also feel something I haven't felt in years. Clean. Like I stopped carrying lies that weren't mine. When I get home, there's a final email from the funeral home, with the link to Mum's online tribute page. I click it. I read the obituary again. I see the names that belong there. I see mine. I see Daniel's. I see Carol's comment. Simple. Heartbreaking. "Thank you for loving her." My phone buzzes with another unknown number. I don't even look this time. I tap, decline, set it face down on the table, and go stand under the framed photo of Mum in our hallway. The one where she's laughing, head thrown back, eyes crinkled, alive. And in the quiet, I let myself say the truth out loud, just once, without explaining it to anyone. I didn't erase them. They erased themselves.